didn't just turn that on.
It's going, bro. It's going. It's going, bro.
Heard this song before.
It's going on. Yes, we did come out like that. How's Speaker looking? Or Spreaker, whatever the hell it's called. Looking good? On the Spreaker side or what?
Yeah. We're multi-streaming.
We all did?
We got video and audio.
That's how I felt after this game, man.
You felt like listening to that kind of music?
I felt like jamming to the King of Wishful Thinking, man.
King of Wishful Thinking.
By a music group that does not look like Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Because I swore everybody's heard that song. C says he's never heard that song in his life. I don't know how. I thought it was a dude that looked like Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince. It does not look like two white dudes that work at fucking Aeropostale.
So Uncle Phil's your boy from Die Hard, right?
No. Uncle Phil, man, like fucking Carlton's dad, like Hillary's dad.
Oh,
and,
it wasn't your boy from Die Hard, the cop that drove around?
No, that's fucking Uncle Carl, man.
Family
That's Father Carl, man.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Mr. Winslow, man. No, dude, I swear I never thought that band was a couple of dudes that look like they work at like Abercrombie or something like that in the London branch. But anyway, man, tough loss. I mean, there's just a lot of shit to talk about. Saints fell 26-20. Season's over. We didn't expect this at all, but we're the Saints Sinners podcast, part of the Tailgate Sports Network.
Network.
Before we go any further, I think C must channel the Dancing Bear and provide us with this date.
Happy New Year's. Because it's January, and January means it's New Year's.
That's right, man. This is the first show.
January 6th, 2020. Get your eyes checked down the road or endowment.
That's right. There you go, man. We're back at it. Saints lost. I'm going to go out and start this off by saying, yes, it was pass interference at the end of the game, and say, no, it shouldn't have mattered. Because this game was, we deserved this loss.
And I've heard counterpoint, and it makes sense. P.J. Williams was not facing the ball, and he was fighting too. So I don't think it was pass interference. And if it was or wasn't, you got to play better than that.
No, I think P.J. didn't finish the play. I think, that was part of the problem as well. I don't even, to be honest with you, like, to me, the play is just so, it's funny because I've seen people and heard people break down the play in local radio, and I mean, it's just beyond that. We did our piece, 13 Reasons Why. I kind of stole it from the show because I like the show, watch it on Netflix.
What show is that?
13 Reasons Why. On Netflix. If y'all haven't seen 13 Reasons Why, I don't know what y'all waiting on. Good fucking show.
Free advertising, if y'all want to give us a couple dollars.
There you go. Send that
money. Y'all not
money.
lacking on money.
But anyway, man, we did the piece on our website on tailgatesports.com. Tailgate504.com is actually the website, but we're Tailgate Sports. So it's a little confusing.
Sports.
It's tailgate504.com. No, .com.
It was a .net.
No, it's
so
.com.
There's a lot of confusion going around.
No, you just confused them, I think, more, though, man. It's tailgate504.com. You just threw the net up in there, man.
People want to know what it's called because we got a lot of people here.
There you go. Throw them in there. Tell them to come on in, man.
We got Lil Heather. Don't call her Lil Fee Lemeron.
That's right.
Super fan. Still waiting for her Lil Wayne music.
Lil Weezy.
Which...
Well, I had to go with the band known as Go West, who I never knew the hell they were. I knew the song King of Wishful Thinking because I felt like it needed to be said.
At this point, I believe Dave is going to play any fucking song.
I'll just play whatever at this point.
But Lil Wayne at this point.
I played Lil Weezy. I'm going to go back to some Lil Weezy. We'll go Lil Weezy next week. We got to bust some Chopper later this week.
Well, Lil Weezy lives in Miami anyway.
Well, yeah, screw him. He's a Packers fan. So we could, hey, he's a New Orleanian, but, man, he's not about the black and gold. So I got to rotate Lil Weezy, man.
We got the roomie in the house, DZ Helgenfelder.
What's up, Hoganfelder?
Also known as Lonnie Hoganson.
The
author of The Chronicles, the 504 Chronicles.
Tonight, hot, steamy night when the 504 Chronicles are being written.
Man, this guy could have probably coached a better offensive game plan than we seen by the Saints because he is a coach. The Pat Riley.
That's right. The coaching did suck, Pat. It did. I think that's where you start, man. That's where this disaster started. Ooh. Oh shit.
Ooh.
Oh shit. Uh-oh.
Big Dog!
Dog.
We're going to see Big Dog and Shao Mess to see Chopper.
Daisy, it's okay.
Big Dog will be in the house.
Cat in the house.
Big Dog.
She is, whoa. She's
I just want to be there. I just want to be there to take pictures.
Here. Simba is here. If she pisses on us, this will be great television.
Can you give us a date?
All right.
What do you think about that loss?
We have El Gato Grande right here.
So anyway, yeah,
started bad.
So if we got some photographers in the house, be there.
Yeah.
This Friday, Chopper style, gonna be in the building
9
at
p.m.
the Battlefield Bar.
The battle will be going on. You will be trying to battle.
Not only will Chopper be there, but the big dog will be there.
That's right. Big dog's gonna be there, man. So look, that's reason right there to go. You know what I'm saying?
That's an act in and of itself.
I'll tell you this, man. The coaching really sucked early on in this game. I thought the offensive line and defense, they lost this game in the trenches. That's the one smart thing Bobby Hebert said in the past month. They did lose this game in the trenches, absolutely. There was no blocks. There was plays with Everson Griffin and Danielle Hunter. Great tandem of pass rushers. We stated it previously on the podcast. There were plays when these guys weren't touched on spin moves. Andrews Pete flailed so badly that I just want to see him head somewhere else at this point. There's no way I'm paying that dude a $10 or $12 million per year contract the way he played. I know he came off an injury a couple weeks ago. Pete played terrible. But Teron Armstead didn't play much better. The offensive line as a whole was not good at all. This was their worst performance of the season. At the worst time.
But it can be so hard to put together a great offensive line.
It is, but Nick Easton's there. I'd roll with Nick Easton.
To get these guys, get a really good offensive line. And, linemen are so good these days. That's just some of the best athletes in the world.
They are, man.
Does it speak to a larger issue of, in this day and age, you need a mobile quarterback that can make something happen?
I want to get into the Breeze thing eventually. I do want to get into that. I mean, I just think the game started and ended both sides of the line. I thought – Cam was very weak in this game. Cam did put up a sack. I mean, Cam Jordan, I love him. I think he's the best defensive end in football. I've put it so many times out there that he's the best end. 15 sacks this year. He had a sack late in the second half, but Cam wasn't his usual self against the run. I think a lot of it was scheme issue because I don't think the linebackers were close enough to the line on most plays. I think they were so worried about downfield passes with Cousins going to Diggs or going to Thielen, which didn't make any sense to me. You got to trust your DBs. You got a talented group of corners back there. You have quality safeties. Why are the linebackers so far off the line? Dalvin Cook had a clear edge. There were several plays where there wasn't a linebacker within 4 or 5 yards off the edge. I mean, he kept running off tackle. That's what he does. He was going off tackle, getting to the outside. He prefers not to run between the tackles, and we were nowhere to be found. The linebackers just totally screwed. I mean, and I don't blame it so much on the linebackers. I think it was bad placement on the defensive scheme side.
Yeah, So what you're saying is they played soft to start.
I think they were soft in both lines, absolutely. I think the offensive line just got pushed around. I mean, Breeze had no chance early on. I mean, the running game, they had no chance. I mean, there was plays with Kamara where he was hitting the backfield before he even got the pitch. I mean, it was bad. I mean, it was that. I mean, he was literally getting a toss and getting whipped at the same time. The play call was bad. That 3rd and 1 with Kamara on a jet sweep type of play. Why is that happening against a fast, fundamentally sound defense? It's just stupid when you could have ran Murray or Kamara up the middle for a full yard.
Was that the worst half that the Saints have played this year?
I think it was. I mean, it's weird because that's what happened 2 years ago in Minneapolis. I mean, it was the same thing that went down. They got off to such a horrible start, and they couldn't – one play ended up screwing them in the end because of the bad start, and that's what happened again. Dude, you got the turnover in the first drive. Nobody talks about that. Everybody talks about the missed field goal, Breeze did this or that. You got 3 damn points off a turnover. You were at the 37-yard line in a short field. You've got to get in the end zone right there and make a fucking statement and go from there. I mean, the field goal was just blah. That was a moral victory for the Vikings right there.
Yeah, I mean, they fumble on the first drive, and the Superdome was going crazy.
Absolutely.
And you can't punch it in.
No.
You didn't really even get close to punching
it in. No,
it
wasn't close at all. I didn't like the play calls at all. I mean, dude, I'm sorry. I like Josh Hill. He's an okay player, but why are we throwing the ball to Josh Hill early in the ball game? Josh Hill shouldn't be targeted unless he's running up and down the sideline or it's a trick screen play, which they occasionally run with him. There should be no other play with Josh Hill getting the football. That's all I'm saying.
Is that a problem that reared its ugly head again? I mean, the fact that you don't have really much outside of Michael Thomas in the receiving game. I mean, Cook is a really good player, but Harrison Smith, ate his lunch in that game.
We called it on that. He was a guy that's going to be a tough cover. I mean,
he had one catch where he got tackled as soon as he caught it. And he had that one play where he grabbed it one-handed, and then we didn't see him again.
No, he disappeared after that. I mean, and we put on a 3 keys to victory. We said there was going to be another player that had to step up. Some trickery had to ensue. The playbook had to be open. if Taysom Hill and Deontay Harris don't play in this game, I don't think the Saints score a touchdown. I mean, those were the biggest. I mean, Harris had some nice returns. He had the big reception from Hill. Hill was a one-man wrecking crew in the second half of that game when Thomas was getting doubled and tripled and whatever else. They took him out of the equation.
I mean, it was a shame
70
that,
yards receiving. That they needed more of that from Thomas, and it wasn't his fault.
Will Lutz,
blew the field goal.
He blew that awesome return by Harris.
Yeah,
that put him in position.
Yep.
Because up to that point they had no spark. That was the spark they needed. You could have cashed in that field goal.
Yeah.
Unlike the earlier field goal that was a moral victory. The fact that they missed that field goal, like the Saints just had nothing to build on going into the second half.
But to me, I mean, the missed field goal there and the fact that you had to kick a field goal in that first drive.
We said the first half, but it was really the first three quarters. The Saints were
awful. I mean, it was bad. Yeah, I mean, they didn't come out much better in the third quarter, not at all. I mean, the first half they dug a hole in my opinion, but they looked bad in the third. The fourth quarter was their best quarter of football. And, I mean, the problem was, look, you're at home. You were a heavy favorite in this game. I respected the Vikings all along. I thought the Vikings were more of a problem than the Niners or the Packers. I think they're a better, well-rounded team as far as there's no glaring hole.
I mean, what they have, let's look what they bring to the table. They bring two guys that could be a number one receiver for a lot of teams.
Yeah. Good running game.
Even if you take one away, you still got another guy that's going to eat on secondary coverage.
And we were betting on Thielen with the hamstring, and he looked 100%.
Thielen beat Matt Lattimore.
He owned Lattimore. That was Lattimore's worst game of the season.
When you beat up on Lattimore like that, you compromise the whole Saints defense.
7 catches, 129 yards, I think. I mean, that's fucking screwed up.
That long one at the end.
And that was on Patrick Robinson on that one. But most of the game, he had Lattimore turned around. On these crucial third downs, they were like 20% better than what we were on third down conversions. That was a huge factor.
You got to give Thielen credit. He's probably, if not the best,
route runner. He's terrific route runner. Very sharp.
He's like a basketball player out there. The way he makes people, puts
not,
people on skates.
Oh, dude, that's what I'm saying. That's why you don't need a receiver that's 6. I mean, DK Metcalfs of the world are great. But you don't have to have a 6'4" guy that runs a 4.3 40. You can have a guy like Thielen and Michael Thomas who can do crafty things, who work so hard at their game, who have great hands and route running ability, and just who know the art of playing receiver. It's like pitching. Greg Maddux didn't throw 98 miles per hour, but he's one of the top 5 pitchers of all time.
And and you take that away, they got a top 5, top 6 running back that can beat you in all phases through the air, and on the ground.
I mean, to me, the tight ends, Rudolph and Smith played well. They didn't really have sexy stats. I mean, Rudolph had the game-winning touchdown, but they had some blocks. Irv Smith had a really key block early in the first half that kept the drive alive. I mean, Dalvin Cook was blessed with great blocks on the edge. I'll tell you, the tight ends blocked phenomenally, and the offensive line for Minnesota really stepped up. Bradbury, the rookie center, I mean, Raleigh Reef, Klein, those guys, they really did a great job.
Yeah, I'll say this. That line that they have today is a lot better than the line they had even a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And I'll say this.
That is a legit Super Bowl contender right there.
They are. They can win the Super Bowl.
They could legit go to the Super Bowl and win it. They don't have a lot of holes on that team.
They don't. And I think if Kirk Cousins plays within himself, doesn't turn the ball over and has confidence, especially I think him throwing to Thielen. Remember the early season dilemma with him and Thielen. There was a lot of off-the-field shit, I think if those two on the same page, I mean, Diggs was a little frustrated. He needs to get over it. Diggs was the biggest bitch in the world Sunday. That's why I think he's nowhere near a top 10 receiver and never will be. He's got a shit attitude. He's not consistent at all. He's a good number 2. Thielen is the best receiver in that team. I know people are going to say otherwise, fantasy reasons and Diggs, but Thielen is the number 1 receiver without a doubt.
Most Anglo-Saxon will pick,
No, I mean, I'm picking Thielen because he's got the best numbers. He's got way better numbers like 4 out of the last 5 years than what Diggs does. I mean, he's obviously Diggs did nothing. He had 2 catches, I think, the entire game. Thielen was a backbreaker for us. Without Thielen, they don't win this game. Thielen was their MVP. Cook ran the ball well, but I saw a lot of the same runs with Madison. They just blocked phenomenally. And I'm not taking anything away from Cook.
I didn't really see much with Madison.
Madison got in there. I mean, Cook got stuff too. Cook only averaged 3.4 yards a carry in that game. Now, early on, though, the offensive line dominated. Madison had some of those runs as well. Madison, they were rotating those guys in and out in the first half.
I don't know. It could look like Cook owned the Saints early on.
I mean, he had a couple nice runs. I mean, he had a good game, no doubt about it. But the problem is this. You have a better running back in Alvin Kamara, in my opinion. The fact is, that people can say he's not 100%, whatever. You're not giving him the fucking opportunity. When you run Murray and Kamara combined for 12 times and Cook got 28 carries, give Alvin Kamara 20 touches and see where this game goes. It's like we forgot what got us here the last 2 years. Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara. yeah, Murray might not quite be Ingram, but why are we not using that same formula? We're putting the pressure on Drew Brees